I can talk, in fact. What's up? What's going on? Hello, hello. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. All right.
Yeah, this is not my computer. That's what I was like. I don't know.
Perfect.
It's his computer and my audio equipment.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Perfect.
so
Beautiful.
okay, excellent. Because for some reason when I plugged in the headphones to the laptop, I couldn't hear it. It's going to be like delay. Yeah. Okay. All right. It works. Excellent.
Okay.
All right. So now we know. So obviously the answer.
You just want to check in if there was no method.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
I mean, because I need that.
So I might need the screen.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have it plugged in first.
On the Facebook? Where's Facebook?
You try to plug it in after the power on.
And then we need to record whenever we're ready.
Yes.
Okay, we're ready.
Oh, wow. It does record when you're connected to a computer.
Why?
Because it's saying it's an interface.
Okay.
So it's not going to record to this now because it's not a standalone device.
Okay. Well, this is supposed to record the whole file. Remember?
What is?
The stream.
Yeah.
Is supposed to record.
Yeah. But the issue is if it doesn't, then we don't have anything.
We're plugged into his.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. You're right. I unplugged it because I thought maybe that was the problem.
It goes to our
Right.
podcast and you have the YouTube
And
channel.
you can just do a line out.
And really, the idea is that when it's done, I mean, live stream now, I'm about to share it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Then we'll share it.
You gotta get on it.
And you're going to record locally to your. Okay, excellent.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
So I thought we just ran into another call. So it's going to be, as long as you do that, I think everything will be good.
Do I need to record audio on camera?
Yeah.
So the audio should be coming from this to your camera.
Yeah, so record the.
So as long as you record, it should be.
I had turned the other one on to make sure that we're getting stuff
Yeah.
on our end.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So cool.
But you've got it, right?
What am I hearing? Oh, because it's this. Where's the other side?
I put them away because
Oh, okay.
you can't be plugged in, right?
Yeah.
Or does it work now?
I was gonna check just in case. Probably not, but.
Like,
Because it does.
We're basically live on YouTube right now. How do you monitor the chat?
I can hear it now.
That
I can hear it
is.
Okay.
I can actually hear it now.
Oh, perfect.
I guess it just had to go live in order for you to hear it. That doesn't make any sense, but.
Perfect.
And I would also say, what about if someone's commenting on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Just monitor the chat if there's any doubt.
There won't be. But...
What if there is?
What if there is? Let me go find Phil and Harry. So, like, did you see the message?
Do me a favor, just can you go talking to it? I just want to hear what it actually sounds like.
Sure. Check, check, check. Hello, everyone. We're about to start a live stream. Or I guess we have already. Good? Perfect? Okay, you want to hear the other one? I'm switching mics. Beautiful. Great. Cool. You said it so loud.
Go for it.
Okay. Hello. Hi, everyone. I don't know how loud they talk. They might be mumblers. But I'm not. Do you want me to keep checking? Okay. Good.
It's gonna be so weird because it's so delayed. It's like I can hear you say it, and then I hear it here, and I'm like, let's just. Yeah, plug into that. Yeah. There's a difference here, so that's what I was listening to. And I wanted to hear what would the stream actually sound like. It doesn't sound great, but I think it's because it's transferred over here. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when people record on Riverside, it sounds good.
Well, she's about to stop. Are you next?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do it later.
So yeah, you're still getting the audio from the microphone. You're seeing okay. So then we should be golden.
Learning together.
My gosh.
The only other time we worked on a live stream, we were not in charge of the live stream at all. All we had to do was run the audio equipment, which was way easier. Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to get the third one right, just in case? They said there might be up to 3 people.
You have a longer board?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, there's a thing, there's like a graphic, you said.
Right, so you turn it back on, it should just automatically. Turn it back on this case? Yep, it came right back up.
All my stress is gone.
Oh, where's that graphic that you had up here earlier?
Add it back on.
I don't know how to do that. Well, I don't know where it has it on this computer. I don't know if it's like in a folder or if it's like dragging it from somewhere else. I had my previous the other session, we had to fix it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. If you need to go to break, just the other stage, huge file. It's still already got this. It's number 2. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's not number 2. It's the first
So number
one.
1.
I guess that could.
Yeah, we can leave that one, right?
I guess you can.
Until we start,
Yeah.
and then you just flip back over.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, you know,
While we were just talking, I don't know where the people are that need to come over. And they might be signed up for tables.
Right,
So yeah,
right.
so that's kind of,
Yeah.
so yeah, please take your time. We are, not sure.
Do you want me to switch tables?
You brought another cable? Do you want to see this one? I just saw that. Sorry.
No.
Oh, that's too good. Theoretically, you should be able to plug one cable into another.
You want to do that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot to do that. Man, Randy, you think we know what we're doing on a film set?
How long do you want to make it?
What?
How long do you want to make it?
Just plug in one and we'll see how far it goes.
I actually think what we should do is plug this one in there. Those two are much shorter. No, what I'm saying is so that it's blocked there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
This one is longer. It's also like.
This is a good example of
Oh,
that
wait,
I
no.
know about my camera. There's so much I can do with it that I don't know that it does.
Oh, you're learning, right? We're learning.
Yeah.
You're learning. And I take this. Where's the microphone? And then you want to set the game up on 3, and I'll just keep talking. Test. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And the place to be. Sound all right? What? What's up? What's up? With what?
3 is like very loud.
3 is very loud. Okay, bring it down.
Wait, keep
Test. This is a completely different kind of microphone, so this one might just run not as hot or hotter, I guess.
I don't think I'm like messing with the. I think I'm not doing prefade. I'm doing like.
Test. Yeah, you are. Oh, wait, why is it not doing that? Turn it off.
See how it is?
Oh, okay, I see. That's okay. So we probably have to set the game. We have to change the trim because I've never used it in interface mode. So
Yeah.
Test. Okay. What? Okay, so now we.
Is music supposed to be playing in the actual room? Or no? Do you think? Does it sound good? I know there's a delay. Good?
Is music supposed to be playing in the room? What do you mean? I don't know. Oh, well, it might be time to turn it off. I have no idea. I don't know when everything happens.
Just rolls into David Jordan.
That'd be so good. No, all I put on there was Amerigo Gasaway, like the Christmas album, and then even another Christmas album. And I put it on loop. He might have turned it down because it might be time for him to actually do stuff. I don't know if you're
What about it?
You want to go check out there?
That third mic, I'm just gonna put it back.
Why?
I guess it's fine that it can be on the table. I'm just worried that it's gonna like knock over.
Are both of you interviewing a person at a time, or what? How's it?
It's supposed to be, we're going to start together and then a person at a time.
Okay.
If there is an extra person, they can share a mic.
Okay, because we've got 3.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think think we're married to having 2 wives.
Okay.
Well,
You
that's,
are married.
that is fair. That's true. How's everything looking on the stream?
I think it's good. I think it's good.
Here, can we pull it up?
Yeah, we just have this on for now. Y'all want to test guess?
You guys want
Yeah.
to?
We have this round.
Yes, for us?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do it. We can do a quick intro, and then we can get them in the next couple of minutes.
Okay.
Are we sticking with the live stream, or are we?
Well, what we can do is we can end the stream and just record it, if that's easier.
I mean, the stream seems to be working.
Okay.
And then you're recording, yeah. Lovely. Yeah, I'm recording.
Like
Yeah.
start now.
I'll
Wait, so-
wait.
We'll wait for them to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll
So
go.
whenever they're ready to do their intro, the mics are.
Thank you so much.
They're all hot.
Yeah, they're dynamic, so you have to get close to it. They're not here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you guys want me to test it? Hear it or?
Yeah, I can hear us
Okay.
on the stream.
Okay.
So,
I was like, there's a
Check, check, check.
But
Mic check delay. Testing check 1 2.
I'm waiting for you. Yeah, you can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, do y'all know?
Maybe one time.
Maybe one time.
Yes.
Eric.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my buddy Phil.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Okay, so what
Yeah.
you're gonna do.
So where are we looking? At the laptop or here?
So do we want to do?
Oh,
we want to do a quick intro?
Okay. So that's what I prefer.
No, it's more like talking about you and your business.
Oh,
like-
Yeah, well, we'll do
Alright,
a quick intro. So if you want to cut that up,
Yes.
we can, and then we'll go over some of the questions right off. And still take. Awesome.
That's perfect.
Awesome, thank you.
And,
I feel about
Push this up a little bit. That's fine. Yeah, no, I do not know. Why don't we just come up? Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like we're centered. I'm looking at the camera. Move over. Move over.
No. Me?
Yes. I think you're good.
I think I'm
I
good.
think we're good. How's that look? Do we look centered? Yeah. I think we're good. What are we doing? All right. We'll go ahead and get started. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Jay.
Switched over?
Yeah, I can see us. We're switched over, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Phil Barrera, aka Phil the Filipino here.
Eric from the Wait For It podcast here at the 3rd annual Podathon here for the Jax Podcasters United, a benefit for Northeast Florida, feeding Northeast Florida. And we're doing things a little different this year.
Yeah, in the last couple of years, we've done these interviews here in person, and over the course of the next few weeks, months, the JPU has gotten them uploaded to their YouTube page. But today we are live streaming, so for any of you that are checking us out here via live stream, thank you so much for joining us. But yeah, very excited to highlight some local podcasters as well as business owners here this evening.
And we've got our first one coming right up. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back with our first guest.
How long do we do it? There we go. Think we are all set. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back once again to JPU Podathon. We have our first guest here this evening. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves as well as your podcast or business?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Luis. I'm one of the Biz Bros. I guess that's the name of the company. And we host Content is Profit.
Yeah, my name is Luis as well. And whether you believe it or not, we're brothers, actual brothers with the same name. But most people call me Fonzie just so they can distinguish.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here for what has become, one of the events we always look forward to every single year. Is this your first time attending Podathon, or are you guys a repeat guest, correct?
Repeat customers. Yeah, this is an excuse to escape my kids.
Yeah.
So I look forward to this event every year.
Yeah.
I think maybe like this is our third or fourth one. So we've seen them grow. It's amazing the community that they've been able to build here. Super fun to just be around.
Yeah, it's so great getting to meet other like-minded individuals, especially when it comes to the podcasting space, the small business space. So tell us a little bit about your show, your business, and kind of like what you guys discuss together.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, let's start with the show. I'll take the show. You take the business.
That sounds good.
The show is called Content is Profit. Pretty much, we launched it as a means to market our business. He's going to be sharing here in a second. But we pretty much focus on talking to business owners and figuring out how are they using content to drive revenue. And
how do they make money?
How do they make money? How do they make money so we can make more money, right? And it's been absolutely amazing. I mean, podcasting changed your business, just changed all the relationships that we had, the amount of people that we've met through podcasting has been absolutely incredible. So if you're interested in marketing and how to turn your content into profit, definitely check it out.
Yeah. As a business, we started as a production company. So we used to do videos for local businesses. Then COVID happened. So that's when we launched the show. And we transitioned a little bit to a fractional content team. And then about 3 years ago, we ended up purchasing a podcast studio for rent. So we own Studio Podcast Suites near the town center. We host a ton of people that want to create. Super fun environment. And just recently, we also launched an online community called Business Creator Club. So we have our hands, we stay busy. And hopefully we're helping people to publish and do what you guys do so well. So
yeah, no, and that's all. Again, one of the great things about having a community like the JPU, it leads to stuff like that you guys have also been creating. There's also these subsect of communities,
absolutely,
right? Community within community, which is so awesome. What's something valuable you guys have learned over the course of the 5 years since you started the show? It's something now that like you would go back and tell yourselves, hey, make sure you keep this in mind for your journey.
Yeah. So more, you want to know more on the content side or more on the entrepreneurial side?
Do both.
Either. Okay. I think like on the content side, initially, how can we stay frequent and consistent? That's probably number one, right? Without those, we cannot get data. We cannot learn from our content. We cannot learn, what the audience is, enjoying or taking the most. As an entrepreneur, we're still in that game. I don't think we have it figured out. It's more, I guess, the mindset of, are we humble enough to like take those learnings and put them in there, kind of leave the ego aside. There's been moments where you're like, maybe my opinion is the one, but your customer is saying something else, right? And how do we find those opportunities?
To piggyback of what he said, pretty much is a constant learning experience. And there's no one silver bullet that is gonna get it out there. It's like we get people for the first time coming into the studio and asking like, all right, how do I grow this thing massive? Like, you need a lot of time, and a lot of effort and dedication. And, honestly, for both the entrepreneurial side and then the content side is like that, right? Is constant iteration. You test things, see what works, what didn't work, and then go back and try again. That's the main lesson.
Is always such a tricky thing too, because you're always like adapting and adjusting. Like, how do you manage to either stay ahead or also just stay current? What things do you guys do in order to do that?
Yeah, I mean, number one, I think for me personally, because we lived it, we spent like 3 years trying to publish something, like not even the podcast, and we will fail every time. And it was, are we actually enjoying the process of creation? I think that's number one. We also get a lot of people that they think podcasting is like the silver bullet that's going to help them and turn, they might not enjoy talking to a camera, right? So like there's some friction there. So I think it's identifying that medium. Obviously for us right now at this event, podcasting is that medium, but we do get a lot of people that maybe, short form might be a better, thing for them. Maybe they're on the move. long conversations, no video, right? Just audio. Like there's different things, and trying to find that helps you be consistent over time. I think it's gonna be a huge.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, quality of the information that you're sharing, the stories, whatever it is very important. But I talk about this a lot, especially with people that come to the studios. Like, a lot of it is like a transfer of energy. Like, if people see that you're not enjoying it, they're gonna get that energy, and it's just gonna be like an icky energy, and they're gonna head out. They're not gonna come back and listen to you, right? So it is very important to find something, a medium, some sort of way of creating, if that's what you want to do, that you truly enjoy. So that transfer of energy is the right one.
Yep. I think people will be also surprised that the one thing can lead to another. So even if you start off with the podcast, it might lead to short form
Absolutely.
content or something else, So I think that's a really, really valuable lesson for sure. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us and being our first guest. Please let everybody know where they can find your show, where they can find your business information, so they can follow you from here.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having us.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
So you can find Content is Profit in your favorite podcasting platform. If you want to see our beautiful faces, we're on YouTube as well. And then business-wise, you can go to bizbros.co, bizbros.co, and you'll find all the things that we've been, trying to do.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks, guys, for joining us. We'll be back with our next interview here at the JPU Podathon, benefiting Feeding Northeast Florida. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Okay, they're gonna
Thank
set
you.
up the
Oh,
transition.
yeah, live stream.
Yeah, we'll put it right here.
Sweet.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
That was awesome.
Appreciate it.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back again to the JPU Jack's Podathon live stream here over on YouTube. We got our next interview. Once again, I am Phil Barrera podcast here with our next guest. If you want to take a moment to introduce yourself as well as your podcast and or small business.
All right. So my name is Frances Marie Rivera Pacheco, and I am the podcast host or tour guide, as I like to call myself, of the Self-Growth Trade Podcast, a podcast that combines personal stories, opinions, and research in order to better guide you through your self-growth journey.
Yeah, you were here last year at the Podathon as well. So what's the last year been like for the show? What have you been up to?
Let me tell you, this last year has been full of so many things in my life that I'm going to be honest, I have not focused on the podcast as much as I should have. But I think that events like today help me realize that I need to get back to what my passion is. So definitely very excited, very motivated, very inspired to step back into the podcast. I checked my Buzzsprout today and I haven't posted an episode in 4 months. So I'm definitely late on that, and I shall be jumping on that train pretty soon and starting again. So I'm excited.
Well, that's one of the things. I mean, even like, especially it just getting the cadence and the consistency down, like it is tough. You got to make it like part of your routine. And again, like you said, that's why, things like this are great because you get like that extra motivation. You meet people that are like, here's what I do. Here's what like helped me. So like, what is one of the things that maybe you have learned coming to Podathon, whether it was this year or last year or just this community in general that you found valuable?
I think that the thing that I found the most valuable is knowing that I'm not the only person that struggles with being consistent. I think that has been a pretty big theme this year. Like even with people that are starting their podcasts and they're wanting to like get ahead by recording multiple episodes so that way they don't get lost in life. And I remember when I did that, it was a good plan. Maybe I should do it again, but we'll see what happens. So I guess that will be the most valuable thing. It's just knowing that you're not alone and knowing that there's people that are also struggling with it. And yet they still have their podcast. Like I'm about to turn 5 years old. Not me personally. Obviously, I'm not 5 years old, but the podcast is turning 5 years old this year. And to know that there's still room of growth for me to learn and to grow is really awesome because it means that there's a lot of work for me to do, and I'm excited.
Yeah. Again, like you said, I think people that haven't started out yet, they'll think, well, what if I fall behind? Like, okay, well, that's fine. Like then you just pick it back up and you pick up where you left off. Like it's totally doable. There's no consequence, like it'll be okay.
I mean, there's guilt and shame, but I guess there's no real actual consequence to say your words.
Like I said, you can pick up really whenever again once you find that consistency, it does just become like second nature. And I think you do start to like miss it. Like if you after a while and then you come back again to a place like this and you're like, I got to get back to it. So what's something because you do other things, you do a little acting, a little improvising, you do a little bit here and there. What are some of those things that maybe have helped you carry over into podcasting? What are some of those skills that maybe have made it a little bit easier to like keep the show running, even though you're in a little bit of hiatus, but it's still 5 years is 5 years. It's a big deal.
So okay, thank you for bringing up improv because I think improv is so important. Mm-hmm. I think that improv has been essential in my life with the podcast because it has allowed me to come up with not just topics on the spot, but also like ideas and things that I want to bring into the podcast. And that's another thing that I wanted to mention. Over the last 5 years, the podcast has evolved like tremendously. Like it used to be a weekly podcast. Now it's apparently a 4-month podcast. So it keeps evolving and it keeps changing. And I think that's what is very exciting about it because it's never something stable, something that stays the same. So oh my gosh, I don't know what's flying on my face. But anyways, as a podcaster, it's nice to know that I have the ability to just create as I go and not be stuck to one specific routine or one specific way of doing things. Because I think that like that can also get a lot of, it can get very frustrating or it can get very, I don't know, like boring. Yeah. And I don't be boring. So yeah.
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Put me on the spot.
A year from now, Podathon 2026, you're gonna stand here. I'm gonna interview you again, and
Yeah.
you will have accomplished what?
I would have accomplished being consistent for the year.
Here you go.
That
talk
is
to
the goal.
talk to yourself in the future.
Okay, future Francis, listen to this. This is past you, cheering you on, telling you, you got this. No excuses. Do the work, girl. You got this. I better got this.
Well, there you go, Francis. So good to see you. Good seeing you again. We need to hang out more in 2026.
do.
That's
We do
also
need to hang out
we
more.
also hung out more in 2026. Let everybody know where they can find you, your show, and anything else you want to plug.
You can find me literally anywhere where you can listen to podcasts at the Self Growth Train Podcast. And also, I have a website, the selfgrowthtrainpodcast.com. And you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, not Twitter. I don't do that. Well, it's not even Twitter anymore, X. And oh my gosh, what's the last one? Buzzsprout.
TikTok? Oh,
Buzzsprout.
Buzzsprout.
Buzzsprout. Yeah, you can find me on
Shout out
Buzzsprout.
to
Like,
Buzzsprout.
always find me on Buzzsprout.
Yeah.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thanks, Francis. Appreciate it, guys. Once again, Phil Barrera here at Jack's Podathon, and we'll see you in a moment with our next interview. Stay tuned. Good job. Thank you. All right.
to the third annual Podathon here for Jack's Podcasters United benefit for Feeding Northeast Florida. And we have our next guest. Could you tell us your name and the name of your podcast?
Sure. Thank you, Eric. My name is Tiffany. I am one half of Tell Us Something Good Pod. Yeah.
One half, the better half?
No, not usually.
Okay, well, that's a shame. Well, the next question we have for you is, what is your podcast about?
That's a really good question. Our podcast is about good news and bad times. We are just two silly little optimistic clowns who are really sad about the general gist of the world today. So we look for a positive news story that kind of is going on in the news cycle, and we tell it to each other. And then we also invite our listeners in to send in their glimmers. A glimmer, by the way, is anything from the week that made you smile or giggle or gave you a little blush, and we celebrate them on the pod with our listeners.
There's a lot of positivity going on in there. How do you balance the good times and the bad on a show like that?
Carefully.
Very carefully. Tread carefully,
Yeah.
even. Okay, that's fair. What about your podcasting journey, though? Have you learned, good times and bad times included? Like, what have been the highs and the lows? Maybe if you want to pick one that you learned from, something that surprised you. What have those been on both sides of the spectrum?
Yeah, so something else we do via the pod is at the beginning of the pod, we get out what we call our grumps. So anything that kind of like, we're realistic about it, right? We're not just like a happy-go-lucky pod. We recognize that things are not great, and that's why we try to pull that positivity in. So yeah, that's kind of it. And then, you know, we suffer burnout and stuff like that, but we just love each other so much that it kind of recharges us during the week to just hang out and yap.
Yeah, and you guys definitely got to check out the podcast and everything that Tiffany's got going on. I think you stream, you do stuff in the community.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I know a little something, and you guys should check this out because what she's doing is amazing.
Thank you.
Tiffany, what is the socials, everything that people need to know? Where are you located? How can people find you and your podcast?
Sure. Thank you so much for asking. That's really nice of you.
I try.
It pretty much Tell Us Something Good pod on all social medias. And yeah, I am a little bit of a community warrior. I love doing community aid. I love doing mutual aid. I love doing charity stuff. You can follow me if you're interested on Instagram at ITSBATSYY_ on Instagram. That's It's Batsy _. That's it.
Yeah, and a threat might have been made if I didn't finish it this time. We got there just
True.
under.
I did. I said,
so,
not a long one.
not a long one. And we're done. Make sure, though, keep podcasting.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Cheers.
Wait, I think we should do that.
Podcasting again 101.
Welcome back to the third annual Podathon here. Jack's Podcasters United, a benefit feeding Northeast Florida. We're taking care of a lot of business today, and we're with our next guest here at the event. If you could give us your name and the name of your show.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Mr. Whiskey, the host of the Couple of Nukes podcast, and my company is also called Couple of Nukes. It revolves around self-improvement, so providing resources through guests, written works, podcasts, speaking, comedy, preaching, all different mediums to reach even more people, because it is our duty to help serve one another. And so getting all that information out there through all those mediums allows me to reach people in some of the worst places, the basement of rock bottom.
You know, that's a really interesting premise, not only for a show, but just a great thing in general to be doing. What was the inspiration behind all of that? Because that's a lot of stuff that you kind of gave us there that is amazing. There's usually a really wonderful story in the middle, in the center of that. What is that for you?
Of course. So for me personally, I served as an electrician's mate nuclear operator in the United States Navy, and we had a high suicide rate. On the base itself, it was about 3 attempts a month, and we had 15 deaths within a year and a half, a murder included, 3 suicides in a week. And so that, combined with the military in general having a higher rate of suicide, of addiction not just to alcohol and drugs, but to sex, to sleeping, to video games, to just basically military, their coping method, not a coping skill, a bad habit. And so seeing that, and then seeing it in the civilian world when I transitioned out as well, because people just naturally came to me with these issues. They said I was respectful and an active listener. And so I wanted to use that skill. You know, God placed those skills in me to be articulated and listening. And so I need to use that to help people. You know, there's no point. I feel like if I were to just sit around and just indulge in myself and what I enjoy, it would be not fulfilling. I would feel sick. You know, we need to help one another, especially because every single conversation has the potential to save a life.
That's an amazing effort that you're making in the world, which I think is very admirable. And the fact that you're doing it with something like a podcast and beyond is just amazing. And when it comes to things like that, when you're in the podcast world and you're having those conversations, you're dealing with that subject matter, what kind of gets you from episode to episode? A lot of people do pod fading, which is they start a podcast, maybe it's not for them, and they just kind of eventually fall out of love with it. What kind of keeps you in this to continue that mission every day?
I love the Greek word sophonismos, and it's part of my addiction recovery program because it means self-discipline, self-control, and self-alignment with your inner self and what you're doing, right? Discipline and consistency is so important. I just celebrated my 3-year anniversary of podcasting the other day. Like you said, I'm approaching 300 episodes. Not many people make it to that point. About 3% who start. It is knowing that this is a long-term mission is number one. And 2, so many people get lost in chasing money and download numbers. It's about that one life you save. I've had a person write in and say, Mr. Whiskey, your episode changed my life. And even if that's the only person who ever writes in, then I have done my part. You know, it is just putting it out there. And I know that God is going to align it to who needs it. And it may be after I'm dead. It's not about the credit. It's about the result.
I love the ability to make a lasting impact in addition to the now, making that impact for the now. And I love your message. What I want to know is how you mentioned recently that you had launched that program that you were just kind of referencing.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about that and also where people can find your show and your company?
For sure. So coupleonukes.com, that's nukes, N-U-K-E-S, based off my nuclear operator experience. It has a plethora of resources. It has every show I've ever been on, every episode of my show categorized from suicide prevention to addiction recovery to women's health, so that you can just go there, find what you need. And it's not just about what you need, but what you can share. I believe that our ability as podcast hosts and guests is the fact that we are a walking library where we continually add resources to our, grove of knowledge to share with one another. And so coupleonukes.com, it has everything there. My addiction recovery program is brand new. I said, I have all this knowledge and all these guests, addiction recovery. I am a child of a family of addiction, and I want to be able to have more impact beyond just the podcasting. Podcasting is great to share stories, but I want to collaborate beyond that. So many people focus on what show can I guest on? No, it's who can I collaborate with beyond the guesting when it comes to merchandise, business opportunities, masterminds, networking events, hosting events like this. It's about beyond guesting, it's what can we do to make an even bigger impact. It starts local, then it goes to the county, then it goes to the state, then it goes global, right? It's about expanding our reach and our mission.
Yeah, and in talking about guests, you've been a wonderful guest here
Thank you
tonight.
so much.
Thank you so much for coming and for being here at Podathon. We'll see you guys on the next one. Just remember, keep podcasting.
Actually, you won't, because I'm here now.
Oh my, he's here.
If you don't mind, good sir. Oh, we're swapping out. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm with the man himself, the man of the hour. Too sweet to be sour. Blotter. Blotter, how are you doing? And what do you tell the people about yourself?
This is the first year I've actually been able to go on camera on one of these live streams / record. I always get jealous, because I end up editing and posting the interviews, and I'm always like, damn, Phil and Eric crushed this. So I want to say big shout outs to you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, Eric was
I'm
not
here now.
You weren't here last year. Phil was, though, and he smashed it.
He's
but
not even on screen. So
yeah,
he
look,
doesn't-
I said I've got 5 minutes before I got to shut down Table Talks, and I was like, God damn it, I'm going to get in here and say what up to my people.
Hi.
Hey, everybody. All right, but look,
Yeah.
do your thing. Treat me like I'm one of the treat me like one of your French girls, right?
Whoa.
Paint me.
Paint you. Paint you. Okay. Whew. All right. Let me
Okay.
get in Leo mode, guys.
Hit it. I want the Podathon experience.
You want the Podathon experience? You want the whole thing? Here it comes.
Okay.
Welcome to Podathon here. Jack's Podcasters Uniting, a benefit for feeding Northeast Florida. And we've got the man in charge right here. Potter, you're the best. But I know everybody knows your name. But just in case there's a person out there that doesn't, can you explain what this is all about, your show, and introduce
Yeah.
yourself to the audience of one that doesn't know who you are?
A 3-in-1 question. I like it. Look, my name is Potter Milligan. I am one of the co-founders of the Jack's Podcasters United group. I also host the Shortbox podcast, one of the longest running comic book podcasts in the industry. I've been podcasting since 2012, and the Podathon is special to me out of all the events that the Jack's Podcasters United does because it involves charity. All right, we're giving back to our hometown of Jax. We're all about Jacksonville and uplifting the podcasting community, but we're also about giving back during the Podathon. And we try to help support Feeding Northeast Florida, all right? Fight against hunger. No one should go hungry during the holidays.
You know what's really funny
That was
here?
a very politician.
That was very, very good. And I feel like not only are you trying to show me up, but you're making me look up. And I don't truly appreciate that. But you know what I do appreciate is that me and Phil for the Wait For It podcast have been doing this since 2018, which is nothing compared to you. You have such tenure and you're nobody's better to do this, what we're trying to do here at Podathon and with Jack's Podcast United. So I want to know what has been some of the highlights in podcasting. What keeps you going every single day?
Honestly, I am an undiagnosed psychopath who likes just talking to the void to nobody. No, I kid. Podcasting to me is the thing that keeps me going is the art of dialogue. I think podcasting spotlights a lost art of conversation, of dialogue, of bringing people's stories to the forefront. I have the incredible opportunity to interview a lot of different writers, artists, creatives that are putting their blood, sweat, and tears into, in my case, comic books. But, they're putting art into the world. And I think podcasting, depending on how you approach it, you never know where it takes you. I mean, I think you speak, I think you're a prime example. You and Phil, you guys have done some amazing things with like the local conventions. I think podcasting is not always about money, but sometimes about the opportunity and the people that you get to meet, the connections.
100%. Yeah, no, and I would definitely echo everything that you said because you said it perfectly. Again, another perfect answer. We're going to stump him here. So why don't we talk about the opposite side of the coin and let's talk about what keeps people away from podcasting. Is there something that you've had a struggle with that you kind of had a moment with other people here like, oh, it's not just me. This is something that we all go through?
I think having hosted the JPU for, since 2018, we've seen a lot of people come and go, right? Like if we were to look at the total number of people who have ever come to a podcaster meetup or a podathon or podcast camp, well into the thousands, but we don't always see those same faces. And I have a theory that podcasting sounds sexy. It's like, oh, I get to be on a platform. I get to interview. I maybe make money. I think there's a lot of misconceptions that about podcasting. I think when people get into the weeds, into the actual work, they realize it is a lot of work. It is a grind. I made a joke about talking into the void, but when you're starting out, it damn sure feels like that. So I think, it's a week, especially if you have a weekly show.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you have a full-time job, if you have a family, if you have a social life like a normal person, it's hard to balance that because podcasting is very resource. It is very time intensive. You have to really be passionate about the thing you're talking about, your topic. And you've got to be organized. And I think, for a lot of folks, it's asking a lot, and that's no shade to anyone. But it is a grind. And I think it'll quickly grind you out if you're not like organized, prepared, if you don't have the right tools. And I think that's a big reason that I love doing the JPU is that we're trying to empower podcasters, aspiring, seasoned, newbies, everyone in between with the right tools to hopefully keep them going.
Yeah, and when we talk about resources, there's nowhere better in Northeast Florida than Jack's
maybe.
Podcasters United. When we talk about entertainment, the Shortbox Nation is getting it.
I can say the same thing for you. All right,
No,
you guys,
we bow.
No.
We bow.
I bow back. All right, a battle.
We're getting into a battle here. That's not what it's about. It's about love. You should be here every single year when we're doing this at all of the events. So,
It's
Butter,
free because once again, I'm a psychopath. All right, it's free to come out.
dropping dimes for free. How can he possibly be making a profit? I don't know how he does it, but if you want to take advantage of it, Butter, can you tell people where they can find you, your show, and everything they need to know about the JPU?
Okay, if you are a comic book nerd or even slightly interested in anything comic books, pop culture, if you are interested in learning about art and writing and the things, the amount of effort that goes into creating comic books, you can check out my podcast, the Short Box Podcast. Like I said, one of the longest running weekly comic book podcast industry. And if you are local to Jax, if you're in Northeast Florida, or if you're willing to make the drive, because we have folks that drive from Savannah, Tampa, Orlando for our events, we invite you to come out, even though we are called the Jax Podcasters United. But you can check out more information about our organization at jaxpodcastersunited.com.
There's no better way to end it than that. Just remember one singular thing: keep podcasting.
Hey, there. I have to go make a 5-minute warning,
Okay.
and I definitely think you got to get Blythe on next.
No.
But Latwan, if you want to come on and Phil's
gonna swap in.
Okay,
Phil's gonna swap in right now.
Fill in
We're
for
gonna
me.
make it natural.
This is a live stream.
We're gonna make it natural.
You get to see all the nitty gritty. Okay, come on. Oh, and he's he's like spinning. Okay, Latwan. Latwan.
I'm just.
My leash.
Appreciate it. How's it going?
Hey man, good to see you. How are you? How is your evening going here at Podathon?
My evening is going pretty great at Podathon. I mean, every time I've come, I've met so many different people, and like people who have different podcasts on different things, and it's just no shortage of people that you meet.
It's pretty crazy because like you have a podcast on what? Like I would have never thought about that, you know. So like please introduce yourself, of course, first, and also what you do.
I am Lad, aka Direct Edition. I have done a multitude of podcasts. Right now, my current one is I Am a Nerd, and we like to talk about all nerdy things, past, current, and everything that brings us joy.
Yeah.
It's
a good time to be a nerd.
Yes, absolutely.
We are eating good here in 2025 and the previous years. What's something that what is one of your favorite nerdy things that you did watch, saw in 2025, and what's something nerdy you're looking forward to in 26?
Oh man,
put you on the spot.
That's a good question.
Want me to go first? I'll go 25.
Okay.
K-pop Demon Hunters.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yes.
K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yes, K-pop
Great.
Demon Hunter was fantastic.
So that was a surprise.
I mean, we all were screaming, going up.
Still, my Spotify rap top 5, all K-pop Demon Hunters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think 6 and 7. To be honest with you. So
I think I'll go a little bit video game wise.
Cool.
There was a game that came out called Dispatch.
Hell yeah! I need to get to it, but it's on my wish list. I need to play it.
Man, I loved it. I mean, we had some bangers in the last few months with Ghost of Yatai.
Yep, playing through that right now.
Yeah. So that was my favorite thing for 2025 that came out.
Dispatch, really great voice acting too. So definitely go check that out. What about 26? What's something you're looking forward to?
2026, still video game wise, Marvel Token fighting game.
The fighting game.
Yeah. I did the closed beta.
I was going to ask. Yeah, you played that? It was solid.
I did. Nice. It was solid. Ghost Rider was my main. Something unexpected for me. Usually I stick with either Cap or Spidey, but Ghost
It's a
Rider
good
was a
time for
welcome
Marvel
surprise.
video games.
Yes.
Marvel Rivals is really good.
Rivals,
The
yep.
fighting game is coming out. Hopefully, we'll get Wolverine in 2026.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
see. TBD.
Cosmic
You know,
Invasion they just
yeah.
released. Marvel fans eating good.
Yeah, it seems like all of the goodwill from the movies switched over to video games, which is unfortunate. Like, we wish there was a little bit of a balance. But,
Yeah.
I mean, we got Spider-Man and Doomsday in 2026.
Yes.
So, like, we'll see. I think one of those for sure will be good.
Yeah.
And we hope Doomsday is good.
We hope Doomsday is good. Yeah. Otherwise, what have we been doing this for? the
What
last
are we
few
even
years?
doing here?
Yeah.
Well, as far as nerdy topics, what do you like to prioritize? Do you like to look back a little bit, or do you talk more about current event stuff, or a little bit
Both. I always tell my son, I crawled as a nerd so he could run as a nerd. Because back in my day, nerd wasn't cool being a nerd. So usually we take a look at a lot of the other stuff that we had fun that some of the kids may not know about nowadays, and then we try to connect with with how it represents today and what's going on with today. So we hop back and forth.
What's one of your favorite things that you shared with him from your past, your childhood?
Samurai Champloo.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we had a bet. We had he was trying to get me to watch One Piece. I'm not a One Piece fan.
Yeah.
And I told
wish
him
Eric was still here and heard you say that.
I told him my anime didn't need 1,000 episodes to tell a good story.
Oh, Kenny's here. Kenny, did you hear that? Kenny, did you hear that? He said my anime doesn't need 1,000 episodes to be good. Where's Eric? Someone get Eric. Anyway, continue.
And I told him I could show him an anime that's beginning, middle, end, 26 episodes, and he'd love it. And he told me I wasn't wrong. He told me I was wrong, and I showed him Samurai Champloo, and he was blown away by it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah. I try.
Well, what's something at least on the podcast, friend? How long is you said you've had multiple shows, but how long have you been doing overall?
10 plus years, actually. Yeah. We've done video game podcasts. This current one, I Am a Nerd. I did a pop culture one back in the day. So I've been around the world a couple times.
Yeah. What is what keeps you going? Why is podcasting a medium that you've continued to come back to?
I like sharing information, and I like finding stuff that I enjoy, and I like sharing it with other people. So that keeps me like coming back. It's kind of like that. Hey, have you seen this? We used to see when you used to go to school and you'd be like, hey, have you seen this? But like, yeah, they were cool. So I like putting that out there.
Yeah. And especially in the pop culture space, there's always so much to talk about because there is, again, we're eating very well, and there's a lot of different things to discuss. So and kind of cover. I actually stumbled upon this question earlier with Francis, so I'll put you on the spot as well. This time next year, we're standing in this location where you're looking at the camera, and you're going to tell yourself, I accomplished this in 2026. What's something in podcasting or professionally you want to accomplish?
Oh, my goodness. In podcasting, I accomplished 500 episodes.
Hey, there you go.
That's my goal for 2026. Professional-wise, I've accomplished it. I've acquired a sponsor, so it pays for itself.
That's always nice, right? Where one thing leads to another, and then it's just then you coast from there. So that's great. Well, let everybody know, of course, where to find any of your work and where to follow you.
Yeah, you can follow me at Direct Edition all across social media, or you can look up I Am a Nerd podcast on Spotify.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much for your time.
No
We appreciate you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, guys. Stick around. Do we have our next person lined up? I can take that from you. I'll just chat here. Were you guys next? No? Oh, we got to cut for a second? Okay, just kidding. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back. Sorry for that hiatus. We had to give out some awards, give out some giveaways here. But I'm Phil Barrera, Phil the Filipino with the Way Forward podcast here at Jack's Podathon. Again, a benefit for Feeding Northeast Florida with our next guest. If you want to take a moment, introduce yourself as well as your show or your business.
Sure. My name is Nix Thomas, and I'm the owner of Nix and Nova Branding. And I work behind the scenes doing the editing and the podcast production. And I'm also an Adobe community expert. So I work with Adobe to help people with their questions for producing the podcast and doing the editing behind the scenes. So I help people with that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's also one of the things that like people would be most intimidated by when it comes to whether it be editing or promoting or anything like that. So like, what do you do to help people kind of like find their groove or even like, again, get a little bit more used to all of that part of it?
Absolutely. So editing and the process behind producing a podcast is very intimidating.
Yeah.
It was intimidating for me as well. I am completely self-taught, so I love this. And what I do is I take it and break it down into what can I do in 20 minutes to where I'm not burning myself out. And we make it as simple as possible. And I go through step-by-step instructions of like, all right, so we're going to open Premiere. We're going to open the windows and we're going to set things up. And then we'll think about all of the other things that we need to make our podcasts and videos look pretty. Then we'll go ahead and like, we'll do that step-by-step transition into something bigger.
Yeah. And what is it about, 'cause as someone who has toyed with different tools to get it to sound just right or get it to look just right, like what is it about like Adobe that has made that kind of like streamlines that and makes it such a valuable tool?
So for me, I find that Adobe has a lot of cross functionality within their apps.
Yeah.
And especially with a lot of their newest features, it makes it really easy to get started. And then you can make your graphics in like Illustrator, and then you can put it immediately into Premiere. You can also make graphics in Adobe Express for free, where it's just like other apps, if you don't have a whole ecosystem, it gets really, really hard to keep it consistent. Whereas with Adobe, it makes it really easy to just have everything in one library and you can port it anywhere you need it.
Yeah.
So easier is better.
Yeah, that's good to know because as someone who uses, we go to Canva and then I go to Clipchamp and then I go to all these other things. That's a really, really valuable resource. So that's great, especially, and that's kind of like similar to like the Apple ecosystem, right? You get one of their tools and then like everything is connected, everything else is connected. So like it's a similar thing. So that's really, really great. What made you want to, help out people on, again, on the behind the scenes stuff? Like what was appealing about that journey for you?
I started initially with, and this is going to be my, I guess you could say, villain origin story, is I was in the middle of COVID and job prospects were few, and I was a giant nerd and I love playing Dungeons and Dragons. So I started doing artwork for people, and that brought me to graphic design and logo production. And then I met Rita Risha, who congratulations,
of the year.
Podcaster of the year. Yes, let's go. She's my business bestie.
Yeah.
And I started working with her on the behind the scenes work because I was trying to find more work. It's been really difficult. And I've always been a freelancer. And I also just really genuinely like making things easier for people and finding those workflows that help people. So I've been an educator for a very long time, and I did English for Japanese students, and I just found myself naturally getting into like, hey, how do we do education for graphic design? How do we make the process of doing a podcast production like easier? Because it's so overwhelming when you start. You're just like, what do I do? There's 1,000,001 buttons. What do I click? And I'm like, all you need to do is click this button.
Yeah.
And it's easy. And we will find this path on our own. And we can do this. So that's the main reason I got into it. And Rita's been a huge like supporter in
getting everything. We just recently opened the content lounge in San Marco, and I run Nix and Nova out of that. And I do personal branding as well as the podcast production. And it's just been fantastic to work with her and grow with her. And we just got an office. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I love that. That is so great because again, I think a lot of people will get stuck in the like I'm about to start phase. Like I want to do this. I have an idea, and then they need somebody that like they can come to somebody and get confirmation that some of the scary stuff is not so scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and starting is the hardest thing that you will ever do. It will be an act of self-love and self-care, and you're going to cry in your car at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're wondering, why are you doing this? But
no one's listening to this.
It's, I promise, it is so worth it to go on that journey.
Yeah.
And I never would have thought that it would have ever brought me as far as it has for me. And I would encourage anyone that really wants to do it to do it.
Yeah.
Just take that first step. It doesn't have to be a leap off of a cliff. It can be, oh, I learned one thing today, and that's okay.
Yeah, 100%. I love that so much. Yeah, and another example as to why here at the JPU, you don't just meet podcasters. You meet other people that can assist you in your journey, no matter where you're at in your process, which is great. So yeah, one more time, if you want to tell the audience where they can find you, your services, and anything else you want to plug.
Absolutely. Well, my name is Nix Thomas, and you can find me at Nix and Nova Branding on Instagram. And we also have a website, and we're also at 1547 San Marco Boulevard, Suite 103 in Jacksonville, Florida. And you can call me anytime at 904-749-7469. And that's 904 Phoenix. If you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out. I also help with Adobe products. So if you've got any questions about that or just podcasting in general, I'm here to help.
Awesome. Thanks. Thank
you
your
so
time.
much.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. All right. I think we're going to let's see if we want to get them here. I know they're talking to Blythe. You guys ready? Yeah. Let's get the next, get our next and final guest for the evening in here. Some more award winners. I'll talk about my trauma. Do you guys want to hear about that? We'll trauma dump here for a little bit. I'll do my stand-up. I got like 25, 30 minutes that are not suitable for the JPU and Podathon. We're getting our next guest over here. Yeah, come on in. I'll give one of you guys that if you want to stand over there. We'll get one of you in the middle. Show off that trophy.
You sure? Okay. You like to yap anyways.
Yeah. We got some returning guests here from last year, and they come back with some hardware that they won here tonight.
Let's go. Shout out to JPU for getting the best podcast of the year. I mean, that's
congratulations,
awesome.
Guys. Again, and for anybody watching, who is also going to watch this back, introduce yourselves and your show.
So we're OG Sessions, organic, unscripted conversations with artists, entrepreneurs, and athletes. 150 episodes in the books. You can find us on every streaming platform.
New episode every week, 8 p.m. Thursday.
There we go.
Yes,
800,000 views on YouTube. I think we're 900,000, whatever. By the time it's Harris, who even knows anyway. But
we're touching 1 million.
Yeah, no, we're super stoked. We've been grinding ever since last year. I mean, I think the growth has been probably crazy.
We have a new studio since last time.
Yeah,
we were taking it outside of our own home.
No one knew this, but low key. So our old studio was in my kitchen, but everyone some of the guests we'd have pull up.
The camera angle, it gets everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone thinks they're like, what warehouse do I go to? We're like, no, it's the kitchen and apartment.
It's right here.
But it worked for the time being, and now got a nice studio and just like separate from our houses, which is very nice. But yeah, dude, appreciate you having us on.
Yeah,
seriously.
Of course. I want to set the stage for my first question here. 150 episodes, like you said, approaching 1 million downloads. That's incredible. Let's say it's you guys standing on the other side of this stream. They're watching, and what was something you want to tell them in terms of like what it is for the longevity and just sticking to it? Like, what's something that you'd want to tell yourselves a few years ago when you first started?
I know everybody says consistency, but you literally can't go anywhere if you stop. So you have to keep going no matter how you feel, no matter how your day was, how your week is. If you have a time, you have to stick to it and just keep doing it.
Also, don't be afraid to like try new things. I think is my biggest thing is like with the pod. I think the first couple of years we were doing it, all we were doing was just recording podcast episodes, which is incredible, and it was the funnest thing. And that's why we started it. Yeah. But in the end of the day, like now, like I think even just within the past year, we've started doing like sound check sessions where we have artists come and like pretty much like play a private show for us in our studio, and we stream the whole thing and just do like little things like that, secret sessions behind on Patreon paywall, and just like different things like that where you kind of
you got to mix it up just to like, still love it, you know. I mean, I would love it if we were talking, we still get to talk to somebody new every week, but the sessions where it's just me, Nick, and Hayden just sitting in the studio by ourselves just shooting the shit, you know, those are just as fun as talking to somebody new every week.
Yeah, what's funny is, you know, I think that I mean, we've met a lot of young podcasters, especially like an event like this, you know, and some of these podcasters have like the same amount of episodes as we do. Yeah. But nothing's really changed since like the early days of their show versus now, which there's nothing wrong with that at all. You know what I mean? But like making little tweaks, what we have found at least is like just making these little tweaks that overall like enhance the viewers, like, I guess, what is it? Like the viewers, like interaction with the show, or like, you know, how they kind of watch it. It's like I've noticed that just plays a huge role, man.
You got to pivot, and I think we were talking about that in one of our talk tables. You have to know what your audience wants, and you have to give them what they want, so you continue to grow.
No, we went through that as well. You know, where we found, you know, we were I don't know if you guys remember this from last year. We were a twice a week podcast for many years, and that's a lot. What we had it's so much. We were doing some solo stuff. We were also doing some stuff together, but we found that but then we had to eliminate. Okay, what is valuable to the audience? What are people actually listening to? And I think it's a really, really important part of like growing your show. Like, yes, you want to cover everything that you want that you're interested in, but like sometimes not everybody is always interested in all that, and I think that's okay. And I think because people may think that like that's a form of like a failure, but it's really not. It's you learning that you need to like adjust and grow with your audience as well. It's super important.
It's funny because me and Nick, like we'll be talking, and like either me or Nick, it goes both ways. We'll go on this tangent, and like I'll just say, like in my head, I'll be like, Nick, nobody cares about this, and like I'll cut them off. You know, you have to, like,
for me,
Nick, let's talk about something else. So let's just go somewhere
Here's
else.
one thing I want to tell anyone listening to this that might ever come across our show, or someone that's starting their own show. The number one complaint that we got when we first started our show is we have no niche. There's no niche at all. We will interview anybody and everybody from UFC fighters to doctors to.
We just gotta want to talk to you.
Yeah, we just have to like find an interest in you, and just like, you know, it's people that we genuinely want to talk to that we find like make the best guests. And it's so interesting how, like, you know, when we first started the pod, our biggest critique from people, like, really not people that have necessarily watched it, but just like people in general, they're like, a niche. You got to pick a niche. We're trying to like kind of eliminate that. Like, you don't have to pick a niche. Like, that is not a requirement whatsoever. And like, you know, if you've got,
why put yourself in a box? Like,
why put yourself in a box?
Like, you can go so many different ways with a podcast. You can talk about whatever you want. Why would you talk about only rap or only sports? I mean, credit to the people who do it. That's great and that crush it. But like, we don't want to be in that box. We want to talk about whatever we want, whenever we want, however we want.
And I think that's a testament to you guys as hosts in creating an environment, no matter what the knowledge level is of the person that you are speaking with. Like, I think that's why you brought so much value to your audience for sure. 100%. And that's something that's like, it's really commendable. So like,
sometimes
it's very
it can
impressive.
hold you back. Is like, you know,
what our lack of knowledge on what we're talking
yeah,
about.
like, so that's so funny but at the same time is like, let's say we have an episode with a country singer, and a lot of our audience, that episode does very well, and a lot of our new subscribers or new listeners come from that episode. So the very next week, when we drop an episode with, you know, some kind of athlete or like a football player or like whoever it is, you know, it almost helps that me and Joey don't know anything about playing,
because we ask the questions that they're going to ask. Like, we're
exactly
in some ways so ignorant. Like, we don't know what we're talking about. So like, we will ask the stupid questions that everybody wants to know. Right. They're just not there to ask. So that's kind of, I feel like it's a lot of my role.
I used to do so much research before every episode. Like, I would dive down into your Facebook history. I would do whatever I can to find out everything about you. Yeah. But then when I found out, is like, the more curious you are, the better the conversation is. Because our job as hosts, at the end of the day, when you have a guest on, is to like ask engaging questions and like almost be that voice for the listener in a way. And when we would do all this research, sometimes you'd ask them a question. It's like so deep. You're like, damn, like the audience doesn't know anything about the person. You're asking about like, you know, family and stuff. You know, it's just wild. Like, I think that, you know, the best, like Joey said, just consistency, just doing it. Like, go get your feet wet. You know what I mean? You learn the most through trial and error, like, without a doubt, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been asking everybody this here tonight, and we'll ask you one more question before we ask you guys to plug where they can find you. This is my favorite question to ask here tonight. So a year from now, we're gonna manifest. We're also standing here again, right in front of whether it be a tree or another inflatable Pokemon. I don't. Maybe we're probably Christmas themed, but we're standing here a year from now, and you're talking to yourselves. What's something that you hope to accomplish in 2026? Something that you did. That you set
Next
out
time this year when we're standing here, we will
two trophies.
We'll have
Connor, you hear
another
that back to
trophy.
back?
We're gonna have another trophy. We're also gonna have a big sponsor, almost big enough to where like, can we quit our jobs?
Yeah.
Like,
So we
make this
we
our
do
full
both
time?
work some other jobs so that we can like pay personal rents and stuff like that. You know, just like pay your bills without having to pull from the pod. I love that. Like, hopefully we have some kind of. It doesn't even need to be a sponsorship. Honestly, I'm fine with just having enough Patreon listeners for. Yeah, and I think that within the next year, I would be very satisfied if we have, you know, just 200 more episodes or 200 episodes total. So 50 more episodes, and you know, just. Honestly, I'm manifesting Trevor Lawrence on the pod. I want
Lil Duval.
Yeah, we want Lil Duval.
Lil Duval,
Trevor
come
Lawrence.
on.
That's the
Yeah.
only exception. Like if you don't
Coming
see
off
us
of a Super Bowl victory.
Yes,
there we
amen.
go.
That's my boy. He knows. He knows what we're doing. Yeah, definitely T-Law on the pod. If T-Law, if you see this, you know, we're just check your DMs.
Yeah.
Or have
We've
your,
been
check
there.
your manager's email. Whatever,
Yeah.
dude. We've been everywhere trying to get T-Law. And then Lil Duval, I've been all over that too. So, yeah, that's my manifestation. Just because 50 more episodes. I mean, I just enjoy this shit so much.
Yeah.
Like, if we could do this for the rest of our lives, I'm perfectly fine. Even if we don't make another dollar off it. So, shout out to everyone who listens. Shout out to JPU for Podcast of the Year.
Heck
Stoked.
Yeah.
I remember we started coming here when we had like 20 episodes, no listeners. Like, this is just gnarly.
Yeah, man.
So,
That's great. Well, once again, let everybody know where they can find your show, where they can find all of your work, and keep up with you going forward.
hell yeah. OG Sessions Pod on everything except TikTok. That's just OG Sessions. YouTube at OG Sessions. Trying to think. You can listen to any listening platform. You get Player FM. There's like a couple down in Brazil that are just like random and like named to Brazil. You can get us on there too. There's no excuses.
Hit the shop.
Yeah, obviously
OGSessions.com.
OGSessions.com if you want to look as good as me and Joey look right now.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think patreon.com/OG Sessions. Choose membership that's right for you. And let's get this thing cooking, baby.
Yes, sir.
So yeah.
There
Love
you
y'all.
guys. Thank you so much for your
Appreciate
time.
you,
It was
homie.
so good seeing you guys.
Much love, bro.
Congratulations again. It's great to see
Thank
all the
you.
work that y'all have done.
Thank you.
We're wrapping it up here at the Jack's Podathon, feeding Northeast Florida. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Once again, I'm Phil Barrera with the Wait For It podcast. You've also seen my co-host, Eric, aka Mr. Eric Almighty, is going to sneak into the shot here in just a moment. And shout out to the JPU. Shout out to everybody behind the scenes. Make sure you give them a virtual round of applause as well for putting this on. And shout out to Botter and Blythe for continuing to help this community grow. We'll see you next year. We'll see you at Podcast Camp in the summer. So make sure you follow us for more information on that very, very soon. I almost got through that whole thing without stuttering. Have a happy holidays, a happy new year, and we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.